Let's talk to William Hanson, an etiquette expert who joins us from our Manchester studio. So, that the Beckhams have been invited, apparently the Obamas haven't, Fergie hasn't either. What do you make of this list?
Well, we don't know for sure who exactly has been invited. This is only speculation at the moment and rumour. The invitations have gone out. As far as I know, the Beckhams have not confirmed whether they have actually received an invitation. It's unlikely that Sarah Ferguson will have been invited. Her image with the royal family, her reputation had been rehabilitated until we had last year the News of the World sting, and then it went downhill a little bit, so it's unlikely she'll be invited. The Duke of Edinburgh doesn't particularly like her, so but Prince Andrew, I was surprised that maybe, who knows, Prince Andrew might have insisted that Sarah Ferguson were there, but he, at the moment, as far as we know, hasn't got his way. Obviously Sarah Ferguson's daughters will be there, but it's sort of as you would expect. Some people before today the invitations went out said that people like Sir Elton John or Paul McCartney might be there. We're yet to hear if they have been invited. Again, like the Beckhams, their spokespeople have not said anything.
People have been remarking that it's quite a modern wedding and that Prince William wants to do it his own way, but just looking at some of the details which have emerged, I mean, it seems quite traditional and formal as well, doesn't it? I mean, it's morning suits and or uniform, for example, the dress code.
Indeed, yes, it's a state occasion. It's not. Society has moved on. We have become slightly less formal as a country, but yet again, this is the monarchy. It's not going to be sort of a roller disco type of affair like some people choose to have nowadays. It is always going to be slightly formal. The invitation is much the same as it was for Charles and Diana's wedding. The wording is the same. The dress code is the same.
Okay, yes, and just looking at those invitations, 1,900 people, and a smattering of charity people as well. And one report I was reading was saying a lot of the people who were invited might not even have thought themselves inside that sort of bracket. I mean, does that make it slightly different, or was that the same for Charles and Diana's wedding as well?
It does make it slightly different, yes. Prince William and Kate Middleton, for example, for wedding gifts, it's rumoured that they may ask people not to give them wedding gifts, countries not to send wedding gifts. They may ask for donations to charity. Prince William is, of course, as with most of the other members of the royal family, very keen on charitable works, and thus he may feel like rewarding some people that do good for charitable causes for not a lot of money, if no money at all, and thus an invitation to the biggest event of this year, if not the decade, is seen as such a reward.
One final question. We describe you as an etiquette expert. What does that involve?
Well, it involves knowing a lot about etiquette and protocol. I go all over the world teaching businessmen how to behave, how to sit at tables, commenting on programmes such as this one as on matters of etiquette and protocol, and generally trying to be polite at all times.
and does that often flow from, say, events at the palace? I mean, is that where etiquette is that the sort of the gold standard for etiquette, perhaps?
Yes, I mean they do follow protocol, and they are a lot of everything that the royal family and their aides will do is governed by protocol in order to not offend anyone, and that's what etiquette and manners are. They are there so people aren't offended, we're not embarrassed, and people feel at ease.
Thank you very much, William
you.
Hanson, for joining us this morning.